Welcome back, friends, to the art room with Miss A. It's me, I'm your girl. So glad to be here with you today. In this episode, we are going to look at weaving. Weaving is the interlocking of any long, thin materials. Normally, weaving takes place with like yarn, something like that. It's what our clothes are made of. All of those are woven together. All those fibers are woven together. Now, this is a student example of a little woven bag. Today, we're going to be weaving with paper. Okay? We're going to actually do a weaving made out of paper. Now, in order to do a weaving, you have to understand this. A weaving is made up of three parts. You have the loom, which is what the weaving is built on. Then you have the warp. The warp are all the threads that go vertical, up and down. And then you have the weft. The weft are all of the threads that go horizontally. So warp goes up and down, that's vertical. Weft goes horizontally or left to right, okay? So those are the three parts. You build it on the loom, the warp threads go up and down, and the weft threads go left to right. Well, now that we're going to do this out of paper, okay, it works the same way. One piece of paper is going to be our loom, and then one sheet of paper are going to be our wefts. And on the loom sheet of paper, it's also going to hold our warps, okay, our warp threads. So in order for us to get started, you might be wondering, well, Miss A, what's up with your coloring? Well, for this project, you are going to use some crayons, and you're going to have a pair of scissors, a pencil, and 2 sheets of white paper. It could even be loose leaf paper. It's totally fine. Okay? Now, what we're looking at here to color with the crayons is you are looking at 2 color schemes. The color wheel divides colors into temperature. Okay? So you have warm colors and you have cool colors. Warm colors are reds, yellows, and oranges. Cool colors are blue, green, and violet. Violet is the fancy word for purple, okay? So cool colors are blue, green, and violet. And warm colors are red, yellow, and orange. So what I want you to do is take 1 sheet of white paper, and I want you to go ahead and color it so that you have your cools. You have blue, a chunk of blue, chunk of green, and a chunk of violet. And just color in one direction because that's the coloring rule number 1, color in one direction. So this sheet of paper has the cool colors, color that. And then take another sheet of paper and do the same thing only with your warm colors. So you're going to have your red, a chunk of red, a chunk of yellow, and a chunk of orange. Again, coloring in one direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those 2 sheets of paper that I've already colored and we're going to weave them together. Okay, so you need to get this done. If you need time to stop the video, that's fine. Go ahead, get to this point, and then you can hit go again. All right, so now what we want to do is let's take the cool sheet of paper and we're going to create our loom with it. So what I want you to do is fold the paper with the colored side inside. Fold it in half. Now don't crease it too hard, just a little bit, okay? And then you're going to take your pencil and now you're going to use your finger like a ruler. Now at the age that you are, each one of these little lines right here, that's about 1 inch long, the age that you are now. So you can kind of, it's not accurate, but you can kind of guess. You go, okay, well, from this little mark down to my fingertip, that's about 1 inch. See what I did there? And then you can get a ruler. Well, if you had a ruler, you can measure out 1 inch. But if you don't, you can always, use your fingertips. But then you want to use a straight edge. If you don't have a ruler, that's fine. Just get like an envelope or the edge of your notebook. Go straight across with your pencil. come across, make a line like that. See that? And then you're going to take your pencil now, and you're going to make the following marks, okay? We are going to create a weaving that has a bit of an optical illusion. Can you see how it kind of curves a little bit? It's a little fancy, this little paper weaving. So to create that optical illusion, which plays tricks on your eyes, okay, another word for eye is optics, right? The first thing you're going to do is kind of eyeball it, pardon the pun there, I'm sorry. Anyway, right in the center of your paper, you're going to take your ruler and draw a line straight down, okay? Then on this side, just come over a little bit, and we're going to like do this look. Like, I'm going to curve it down just a little bit, okay? And we'll do that on the other side as well. Try to make it look a little even. All right, kind of like parentheses a little bit. And we're going to do another one. Now, check this out. Make sure that when you curve it, you land at the bottom, okay, of your fold. Make sure that you land at the bottom. Don't curve it and have it go off the side, because your weaving, your loom won't be correct. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to curve it, and I'm going to go down to the bottom. See that? And remember, look where I'm at. See how it's supposed to be folded? I'm basically drawing where the bottom of my lines hit the fold. Okay, don't do it the other way. If you did it the other way and you cut it, it's going to fall apart. So stop the video now if you've messed up and get it so that it looks like mine. Do you understand? Okay. So again, I'm going to end here at the bottom, making sure I curve a little bit. And that gives me some room on the sides. Don't make this too skinny. Don't bow it way out here and you got this little skinny piece. It'll just give you trouble. So once you get to this point here, you're going to take your scissors now, and you're going to cut, but when you cut, you're going to stop at that line up here. Like, don't go past that line, because if you do, you're going to cut your loom apart. So you don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut up to that point, and then very carefully, I'm going to use my fine motor skills. Those are the skills that you're working with right now. Gross motor skills are the skills that your body uses to run and jump and play, but fine motor skills are cutting and writing, stuff like that. Okay, so we're using these fine motor skills, and I'm cutting on the line that I drew up to that horizontal line. See? I'm going to do that and stop. See that? So now when I open this thing, look what I have. I have all of these warps. Remember I told you the warps are all the lines that go up and down, and these are now lines. They go vertical. See that? So my loom is ready because it has all of my warp pieces ready. Let's go ahead and take a pencil, and in the first, above the first line here, the first warp, let's go ahead and put a number 1. Okay, and above the second line, we'll go ahead and put a number 2. What do you think is going to go above the third one? You think number 3? Well, you're wrong. It's actually going to be a number 1 again. We're going to have a pattern where it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. That's right. So we'll put a 2 right here. And obviously, this next one is going to be a what? A number 1. And the last is going to be a number what? I hear you thinking it, a number 2. So now you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So each warp now is numbered. Now that's going to help us when it's time for us to weave. Now, find your warm colored paper. And what we're going to do with that is that we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this up. So check this out. Let's go ahead and fold it. All right, crease it in half, okay? And then we'll crease it in half again. Okay, crease it in half. And you know what? Let's crease it in half one more time. Okay. So again, what I did was, if that went too fast, maybe you can always stop it and rewind. But all I did was fold it in half again, and fold it in half again. Do whatever paper you have, do the same thing. And you know what? Make sure that your 2 pieces of paper are the same size. So make it 2 sheets of loose leaf paper. Okay, it'll work out better that way. Whatever paper you use, make sure you just get 2 of them, okay? So now when I open this thing, I'm going to turn it to this side, the white side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut right on my fold line. See my fold line? So very careful using my fine motor skills. I'm going to cut a piece off. Now, don't sit there and cut every one. Don't do it. You end up with a pile of papers. Don't do that. Just cut one at a time, okay? So now with this first one, you see, and I'm looking at the white side, bring your loom back over, and let's work on the white side because sometimes the color side is a little bit confusing and makes yourself crazy, okay? Let's just work on the white side. So here is the trick to weaving. When you weave with your weft, because this is the weft, when you weave through the warps, you have to go under one, over one, under, over. That's the process, under, over. So I'm going to go under number 1 and over number 2. Now, obviously, that means I have to go under all of the number 1s, y'all. Just lift up all the ones that are labeled 1, lift them up and slide your warp through. Now, you see this little trick here? You have to push that weft, because that's the weft, push the weft up to the top, okay? Then you go back and you cut another another weft, right? And let's weave that one. Now, obviously, oh my goodness, you went under the 1s. What do you think you got to do now? I mean, come on. You have to go under the what? All the number 2s. Clearly, duh. Lift up all the number 2s and slide your weft in there. And then look, slide it up so that there's no gaps there. Okay, the technical term for that is beading. But I don't want to be violent. It's just slide. Okay, we're not beating it. Let's just slide. Okay. All right, here's the next one. Come on. Now we're going fast. And go ahead. I'm going to do this next one. Okay. Lift up number 1. Slide it under all the number 1s. Okay, under number 1s. Here we go. And slide that up. Okay? All right. I'll be back in the next video for the conclusion.